Donald Trump is crashing the economy, and sycophantic influencers like Benny Johnson are crashing out.
Losing money costs you nothing.
I love how the video starts with him pulling his hair out. Seriously, the grabbing of his hairline is clearly a nervous tick, because Benny's relevancy is ticking away. Although I've always found him suspicious. The guy came out of nowhere with millions of followers. And they call Sarah Stock AstroTurf.
This is just the reality of life. Like, were you young and dumb? How much money did you lose? Everyone loses money. Everyone loses money. It costs you nothing. In fact,
What the fuck are you talking about? Losing money costs you money. Funny how he wasn't saying that when the Tenet media scandal broke out. How about them rubles, Benny boy?
it builds quite a bit of character. In fact, you learn a lot of lessons, actually, by losing money. Losing your character costs you everything. Losing your country costs you everything. There are things you can't get back. The government can print more money, and it will. Sadly, that's just the reality. It's fugazi, it's fugazi.
Pause. I'm sorry, what is this, a slam poetry session right now? Benny, you're not Thanos. You can't snap your fingers and make this mess disappear like Trump made the economy disappear.
It's fugazi. It's just that there's a boom and a bust every 10 years, and it's been that way since the invention of modern markets in the 1600s. The Dutch crash of 1649. You ever heard of it? It's just the way that it works. It's the way that like monetary policy has always worked. There's going to be ups and downs, especially as the table gets reset. If you lose the character of your country, if your town gets hollowed out, give me that photo of that town, man. Give me the photo of that town in West Virginia. If your town gets hollowed out and your entire neighborhood gets addicted to opioids.
Wait, so is Benny saying that poverty leads to crime and abuse? But what about personal responsibility? I guess that doesn't matter now, huh?
And your steel mill shuts down, and your farmers can't grow crops, and there's no more cattle ranchers, there's no more cowboys, there's no more fishers, there's no more workers, and we're completely and totally dependent upon slave labor peasants across Asia to make every good and service and pharmaceutical.
It's so hollow. It's just truly so hollow. Benny doesn't give a fuck about slave labor, or else he'd be in favor of reparations. He suddenly cares about the morality and ethics of fair labor practices, but is cheerleading for war crimes in the Middle East. Spare me your virtue signaling.
Then you've actually lost your country, and then we are the slaves. There you go. This is West Virginia. And it's so sad that this was a factory that provided thousands of honest, good-hearted, steel-working jobs for our fellow countrymen. And it was ripped. The guts of it got ripped out and shipped by people like Mitch McConnell so that they could make a couple extra points in their portfolio to get stock swaps with Pan-Asian countries. And they sold out their countrymen, and I call that traitorism, actually. I think that's the definition of a traitor.
Would influencers taking money from Russia to push Kremlin propaganda be traitors as well?
You can lose money. You can lose points in your portfolio. It costs you absolutely nothing. You won't miss them when you're dead. Nobody ever had their net worth carved onto their tombstone. Doesn't even matter when you're on your deathbed. Who cares? It's just digits on a ledger. What will matter is, did you preserve your nation for your children? Did you view your country as something more than just an economic zone and tax cattle and slaves to China? Put that up, President Trump. No crying in the casino. Is it really? I don't care. It's too good. Final point I'll make on this is, who's the slave and who's the master? You know, if your pharmaceutical and automobile and phone, all the wires in your home, every electronic in your home, if everything that you use in your life is wholly and totally built by a foreign power that hates you, then you're the slave.
I love how his whole argument is actually, no you. You thought the child slave labor in Southeast Asian sweatshops was slavery. No, dumbass. Actually, the guy at Wally World buying a DVD from the bargain bin is a slave. He's the real victim, and if you disagree, you're a greedy capitalist pig who hates freedom and is a traitor. That's how stupid Benny's cope slop sounds. And frankly, I don't like to use this term, but it's actually anti-American.
You've always thought of America as the master of the world or as like an empire. But it's not. Not if we are totally dependent and on our knees before these third world goblin dictatorships. So it's time for a total reset. It's time for them to know who's boss. And it's time for us to be the master once again. That's the point of this country, actually, to be the master of our own destinies.
I thought the entire point of America First is to, quote, take our country back. While I agree that outsourcing American manufacturing jobs has destroyed communities, I don't think there's any going back to the past. Those jobs aren't coming back. But if you want to support something that is its own master and play by its own rules, then read the Brittany Fan-Comic. It's 100% for free right here on YouTube.
Look what we have here.
I just released the newest dubbed chapter on YouTube.
Wake up, people! Hentai has stolen your dreams.
Brittany stages a protest against hentai, but she earns the ire of a corporate zombie bozos. What are you all doing by the window? Sit down so we can go over the earnings report.
It's that Brittany girl. She's spreading hatred. Hatred for hentai.
Why hasn't she been canceled? Who hires an assassin to cancel Brittany?
Diesler? The shape-shifting assassin?
Yes, indeed. How is Brittany gonna get out of this one?
Ow, fuck.
It's an edgy satire with tons of Brittany Venti references and some other familiar faces.
Deplatforming her is 200% ethical.
And you can read all the chapters right here.
That's it, you're banned from this traffic light.